Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into Cheney Stadium here in Tacoma, Washington, where tonight we have midweek USL Championship action for you as Tacoma Defiance plays host to Las Vegas Lights FC here on ESPN+. Hello, everybody. I'm Andrew Harvey, joined tonight in the booth by Sounders legend Lamar Nagel. Lamar, great to have you with us. Thanks for being along.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Always a pleasure.
Well, we are dealing with a Tacoma side that recently broke a 7-match winless streak. In fact, they were all losses in that 7-match run, with a big 4-1 win against Orange County last weekend. But they're facing a Las Vegas side that is looking to play spoiler, having been eliminated from playoff contention. And the man we're focusing on for them tonight is Danny Trejo, who has 2 goals in their last 3 matches for Vegas. Trejo spent last year with the LA Force in the NISA. Capable player out there on the wing, and of lately has been the primary producer on offense. We've got Julian Vasquez on the bench, who's provided assists on a couple of those goals. On the other side of things for Tacoma, there can be one man and one man only to focus on, Lamar, and it is Slammin' Sam Adeniran.
Slammin' is right. This guy has an absolute rocket. You can see here, he picked it up off a mistake from OC, but just absolutely smashes it near post. He's scored a lot of his have been magnificent from outside, but this one is obviously slipped in. The third one is slipped in as well off of a quick play. But the Tacoma Defiance have needed somebody to step up, and he's absolutely done it. 10 goals on the season. He's been in fantastic form. Hopefully he can continue that from here. Recorded the 2nd hat-trick in club history in that win over Orange County. Jumped him up to 10 goals on the season, and he is the man to watch tonight as Tacoma taking on a Las Vegas side that once again eliminated from playoff contention. Lamar, 5 wins, 20 losses, 3 draws. That's 18 points, 8th place in this Pacific Division here in the Western Conference, and just 1 point in their last 10 games. But sometimes late in the season when there's nothing left to play for, you can really surprise people. Yeah, sometimes you get a little bit of motivation for that, right? What are the coaches saying right now? You know, are we, guys fighting for positions for next season? And a little bit of motivation just, beating a team that beat you in the past, right? Where should we be at? Should we be in a position that Tacoma Defiance is in? Can we prove that? It is anthem time here at Cheney Stadium. We step aside for the Star-Spangled Banner. When we come back, kickoff between Tacoma Defiance and Las Vegas Lights FC on ESPN+. Don't go away. Welcome back into Cheney Stadium here in Tacoma, Washington. Just about time for kickoff between Tacoma Defiance and Las Vegas Lights FC for you here on a Wednesday night on ESPN+. Brisk night, floodlights beaming down. And as we turn our attention now to the multi-care pre-match health report, Lamar, it's what you always want to see in the late stages of the season. Everyone is good to go. Yeah, you got a full team ready to compete. That means everybody's an option. So good news for Tacoma on the injury selection side. Let's take a look at the starting 11, first named by Las Vegas head coach Steve Cherundolo. And it's a light side that has become familiar in recent days. Some players there that have really stood out. Got Danny Trejo, of course. Cal Jennings in on loan from Los Angeles FC, leads the club with 8 goals and 3 assists up top. But overall, this is a team that has been struggling lately. On the other side of the aisle for Tacoma Defiance, not too many changes from that side that carried off 4-1 here at home, but there's been some reinforcements brought down from the MLS Seattle Sounders, namely Ethan Double-Air and Reed Baker-Whiting slotting into the midfield here to try to eat up the middle of the park. We are set for kickoff. Tacoma Defiance is in commencement gray. They will move from left to right on your screen here in the first half. Las Vegas Lights in white with blue going back the other way. Your referee is Matt Thompson, assistant referees Babacar Jallo and Ryan Jung, Christopher Calderon, the 4th official. Well, all to play for at this stage of the season, Lamar, and for a Tacoma side that has not been in the playoffs since their inaugural season in the USL back in 2015. Obviously, this is something that Wade Weber would love to carry off in his first year at the helm of the club. Yeah, absolutely, and something I think he definitely deserves. The turnaround that this club has had, the beginning of the season that they've had, I think they've been performing at a high level. If they can keep this up, I mean, after beating the OC Blues the way they did, if they perform at the same level, they shouldn't have a problem getting into playoffs if a couple of results go their way.
We are underway at Cheney Stadium. 90 minutes of USL Championship action for you. Tacoma Defiance looking to take another 3 points at home against an LA side that has been tough for them to beat this year. Like we mentioned, Las Vegas Lights FC, 5 wins on the season, but 2 of them have come against Tacoma.
Yeah, I mean, that's just more motivation, right? A team that's beaten you a couple times, that are down in the standings. Obviously, Wade Weber's probably saying, you know, this is the game that we should win, need to win. A home game against a club that, you know, playoffs-wise doesn't have anything to play for. So.
Well, tonight's match does have plenty of playoff implications. So too does another one. It's underway. That's Sacramento Republic against LA Galaxy 2. Important to keep an eye on that scoreline, Lamar, because Tacoma owns the tiebreaker with LA Galaxy 2. So in the event that Tacoma takes 3 points and LA Galaxy 2 takes no more than 1, Defiance will be back above the red line at the end of tonight's action. And I have to imagine, from a player's perspective, you'd rather be above the line than under it coming in on those last 4 games of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you want to get ahead of any competition you have, and to now be in the playoff race and to have a hold and to have that kind of in the bag, it's definitely an advantage. So coming off a win here, you'd be really confident getting back into the playoff spot.
Tom Brewitt back to Spencer Ritchie, who replaces Christian Herrera between the sticks tonight. Ritchie just making his 4th appearance of the season for Tacoma, but that is usually because he is up the road some ways, backing up or starting in the absence of Stephen Fry for the MLS Seattle Sounders.
Yeah, it's not surprising. Steph's back, you know, in the starting 11. So in order to get some games, Spencer Ritchie doesn't have to be the backup to the second Steph, as some put it.
Bruce Nazmari making his 8th start of the season. Up the far touchline there. Going back there to Dylan Presto. Frank DeRoma. Molina. And Presto wins a corner for his side.
Las Vegas has definitely come out on the front foot. Like we were saying, obviously, you know, there's definitely motivation there. This isn't the team that's going to die easy, so Tacoma's got to match that.
Played short by El Nazmari. Molina tries to force it in. Second ball, tests Ritchie at the near post. It's another corner, came off a defender. Seems to be an inclination for Las Vegas to play these short, but if you look into the height competition inside the penalty area, Lamar, you can kind of see why. This one comes in, though. Brewitt pops it straight up. And it's knocked clear by Marlon Vargas. Declan Kanan, 37 years old, still getting it done at the professional level.
It's impressive.
Got to be a lot of work that goes into the recovery between matches at that stage in your career. Scoop pass by Trejo, coming inside and found the head of a runner. That was Cal Jennings. Had that kiss off his forehead, and it's gone out the far side.
Yeah, great ball across in between that space, right between defenders and the keeper. That's always going to be difficult. You never know what's going to happen. You know, sometimes those go off defenders. Sometimes guy on offense gets a touch on it. Luckily for the Defiance, it was a little too high.
Into Jennings, Molina, rattled away. Garrett Kinsner back in the lineup today. Tacoma native. And Lamar, you know all too well about what it means to be able to play down here in the South Sound in front of friends and family, place where you grew up.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a special feeling. Obviously, it's happening more and more with the academy. When I was back in the day before academy, it didn't happen as often as now, obviously, but it's still an amazing moment. You know, there's not many people who get to play for their hometowns and in front of their families. Kellen Rowe's one that I think of that played, you know, I don't know how long he's been playing, 10 years now, and he's just now getting to play in front of family every single game, and I know he's definitely enjoying it.
And of course, your own time here in the Pacific Northwest, 130 appearances for Seattle Sounders FC and MLS, 8 for Tacoma Defiance here in the USL Championship. Scored 4 goals, by the way. Your goals per 90 minutes played is .59.
Yeah, I'm only 34. Keenan's 37. Maybe I can make a comeback. That is a complete joke.
With numbers like that, that's a good thing you specified. I'm pretty sure someone was writing up a contract as we spoke. Early minutes here, kind of the unsteady feeling one another out process.
Yeah. Yeah, there was some press in the first 5 minutes, and now Las Vegas has seemed to settle down, enjoy a little bit of possession, but still challenging over the top. If you saw just a second ago, Tacoma Defiance had a pretty high line. Whenever you see that and the forwards on that back line, you think, man, maybe we can test them with the ball in behind.
Gave it a go just now. That shot corkscrews through traffic. Richie covers it.
Richie now doing a good job of settling the guys down. Okay, let's start to get possession. You know, first 10 minutes are always feeling them out, but you never want it to be hectic, especially when it's in your half for a while. So
now look at that last shot here. Far side, Alex Villanueva gets that ahead to Sam Adeniran. The low cross coming inside. Villanueva drops that to the head of Alec Diaz. He floats it to the far post. And Alex Rando with a tip save.
Great ball over the top. It's going to be a little difficult to get some power on it running at that angle, but he did a good job hitting it back across the goal, testing the keeper. But
well, it's been an up and down season for Diaz. 3 goals. Certainly he'll have hoped to have produced more than that to this point in the year. But he did bag a 90th minute goal to make it 3-1. Important goal at the time in last weekend's contest, because it was the insurance goal, the one that said, all right, well, they're not going to score 2 on us in stoppage time.
Yeah.
And sometimes, Lamar, can that really spark things for a player? More on that in a moment. That's laid off and helped on its way. Pardon the interruption.
Yeah, no, with Alec Diaz, 1 goal can make a huge difference. Right, you gain a little bit of momentum. Even good play, having a couple chances after that goal can keep that momentum going. So, I mean, getting a good header on goal, you know, thinking, all right, I'm going to get some more chances in this game. Hopefully he does, and hopefully it turns. I've had a few of those seasons where, you know, you come off a good season and you have one where you score 3-4 goals and think, man, that was not what I wanted it to be. So.
Reagan looking to test this back line. CC Uche. And did the momentum of Alex Rando carry him outside the penalty area? Wade Weber is up and moving in his technical area. I think wants a word with Babacar Jallo, the assistant referee there.
It might have been from the touch. It looked like almost the defender touched it back to the keeper. That might have been part of it.
Reed Baker Whiting. Back for Sam Adeniran. Speaking of Sam Adeniran, reigning USL Championship Player of the Week, bagged that hat trick, as we mentioned in our pregame show. And Lamar, the move came after Wade Weber moved him out to left wing as opposed to center forward, where he'd been playing pretty much all season. I'm curious if you think there's anything to that. Is it his size and he's not playing against two center backs anymore? Or
yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can not be the center of attention on two center backs or one center back. You know, if you're out on the wing, there's a lot more movement that you can do, playing off the shoulders of defenders. But if you're in the middle, they pretty much size you up from the back and keep pressure on you. And most of his goals seem to be from distance. And so, you know, it's not turning a defender necessarily. It's getting the ball facing up, doing a move, and then hitting it.
Too high there for Villanueva. Well, since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Ball skips past Double Air, finds Trejo. Won back by a retreating Marlon Vargas. That's one of the things Wade Weber emphasizes for this young squad, commitment to team defending all over the pitch.
That hasn't changed. Wade was actually one of my club coaches when I changed from featherweight to Tacoma, and that was a big part of kind of the technical side of how we played. Was we played defensively absolutely together, and then we had creativity and freedom going forward.
All steadfast commitment to defense, probably what you'd expect from a guy who played in Major League Soccer as a center back and was one of the more feared men on a back four in that league in his time.
Yes, I've heard a few stories, yeah.
You wouldn't know it from talking to him, Lamar.
No, absolutely not. And I think similar to myself, when you got on the field, it was a switch got flipped and you were a completely different person, but you needed to be.
CC Uche going to try one over the top for Trejo. It'll be a long night if they have to contest balls in the air against this back line. Presto.
Yeah, that ball over the top seems to be one of the first ideas that Las Vegas has each time. You can tell as their guys on offense sit on the same line as the back line and don't step off, come back, and come to the ball. They're staying on that back line. They want it in behind. They don't want it to feet.
Molina, De Roma, and from Sierra Leone. Back to the far side for Presto. Villanueva sticks a leg in, wins the ball back. Sam Adeniran, the beneficiary of a free kick. Kanan was taking liberties while he went up for that header. A quarter of an hour in, 0-0 between Las Vegas and Tacoma Defiance here at Cheney Stadium. Lamar, what jumps out to you about these first 15 minutes?
It's starting to settle down a little bit. I still think Tacoma could do with being a little bit more calm, but actually having possession in their half. They seem pretty comfortable. If they get a little pressure to go back into their half, pass back, and eventually it just ends up coming out with a long ball over the top. But if they sustain possession in the other opponent's half, then they had a little spell in the first 10 minutes where they did that, and they ended up getting that cross into Alec Diaz. So it'd be nice if they settled down and had a little bit of possession in the other half. So here, see, can we play forward? Can we keep going?
Looking to do that. They pick out Marlon Vargas. Slipped through for double air. Bit vertical, that ball, though.
Looked like he wanted it to feet, not in behind. But a good idea from both players.
Ethan double air. One of the few young players signed to Major League Soccer homegrown player contracts down here for the evening. Steve Cherndolo there. Just having a word with the referee. Part of an organizational commitment over these last few years, Lamar, as you well know, to get young guys through the academy pipeline and get them meaningful professional minutes, both here in the USL Championship and in the First Division.
Yeah, and they've done a great job of that. I think they're one of the better clubs at it right now. Just historically, I know Dallas and Salt Lake did a good job of it. Dallas obviously producing the now rocketing Ricardo Pepi, scoring a bunch for the U.S. national team, but the Sounders doing a good job of bringing guys up, especially in the beginning of the season when they were struggling for healthy players.
Well, Alex Rando might have a word with his defenders about the quality of that back pass just now. Pretty much had to stick a leg straight out to play it up. Carrying forward is Trejo. Double air tackles it away, and Trejo clearly a problem player with that pace out on the wing. Some confusion here as to whether this was given as a throw-in or an offside.
Linesman doesn't have the flag up, so.
Might have just been crafty veteran Taylor Mueller seeing if he could talk his way into a free kick. Much easier to clear your lines.
I definitely wouldn't be surprised.
Mueller, Kirkland native. Back here at home in the Pacific Northwest after a long career out in Charleston. A club that you're familiar with, Lamar.
Yeah, a great organization, and that's, you know, I started with the Sounders, but that's where I actually started playing, gaining confidence, similar to these younger guys, you know, getting some time with USL teams and getting just game experience at that level. That's exactly what I was doing at Charleston, and luckily I ended up doing it for a great organization. We ended up winning it that year.
Well, switch to Villanueva. He's got a dinner in drifting wide. Villanueva carries on, cross is blocked and comes right back off him. Bad luck, that.
Yeah, a little unfortunate. Great drive into the box. They've played that switching ball a few times, and it's worked. Villanueva is doing a good job out there of kind of controlling the pace and possession up top up there.
A sight set on home field advantage. El Paso Locomotive welcomes an OKC Energy side looking to remain above the playoff line. It's El Paso and OKC, Sunday, October 24th at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Deportes. get the sense, Lamar, that Vegas really want to draw Tacoma Defiance forward here. Create some space between those lines.
Yeah, they seem content to play it around the back for a little while until they get a little bit of pressure, but Tacoma Defiance really isn't biting. They're keeping their lines compact, doing a good job of staying disciplined. And they're handling the long ball as well.
Well, Vegas trying to pull the ball back about 20 yards from where the ball went out of play. Referee Matt Thompson not having any of it.
Yeah, usually you get in trouble for the other way.
Kanan to the near side. That's a well-won throw-in by Dylan Presto. Molina. Batted down and knocked away by Taylor Mueller. I don't know if the players would necessarily agree with me, Lamar, because they're actually out there in the elements. But having grown up in the region, is it really soccer if you're not playing it on a brisk October night with a light rain falling?
Yeah, you're definitely not enjoying it. I mean, it's funny. I actually just saw an interview with Kellen Rowe talking about the rain in Seattle, and I was actually speaking with Brad Evans too about the first time he came and it was raining constantly here. And then by the end of it, you just love playing in the rain.
As a bright side to those at home who might be doubting us, you'll never overheat. Reagan pulls that past his defender. Switch far side by Molina. Played his collegiate ball at UC Irvine, but went pro early after the Big West decided there wouldn't be a 2020 conference season. Uche wants another long ball. Trejo managed to get it past Double Air, but puts it into touch.
Yeah, Double Air is going to have his hands full with that pace. Seemed to have done a good job so far, but he's going to have to be switched on the entire game because it just takes once.
Presto has a go himself. Richie catches it cleanly. 2 shots so far for Vegas, both of them pretty much from about that same distance and with about that same pace.
Yeah, nothing really that's going to test Spencer. He's a veteran keeper at this point. Had a great game against OC.
Richie also from Seattle. And of course the former Washington Husky, a college program right now that is pretty much on everybody's radar, Lamar. Unbeaten still to this point in the year, 11-0. Best in program history, best in conference history, I believe, they're in the Pac-12.
#1 in the nation. Yeah, they're on quite a tear.
And a team that has no shortage of players who have taken the pitch for Tacoma Defiance at one time or another. Miglietti, Dylan Tevez, Here's a ball for double air up the near side. Cross swung in, popped away by Kanan. Sam Fowler in goal for that Washington team. Marlon Vargas. Reagan on the ground into Diaz. Vargas pulls it past the defender and forces the save out of Rando. Just pelts him with the ball. Wins a corner.
Great ball into that space. It didn't look like a lot of space to slip it in, but the defender has to be so careful if you're anywhere near the box and they're on your back, right? They're looking not to foul you, so.
Reed Baker Whiting for this outswinger. Well, Taylor Mueller got there, turned toward goal. Rando, did he keep that out? He has. Tom Brewitt tees up the scissor kick, and Rando manages to stick a paw up there and turn that ball aside.
Yeah, great save here. Good ball in from Baker, and what a scissor kick.
That is the converted center back, Tom Brewitt, who's playing at defensive mid of late for Tacoma. Well, he's scored 2 goals on the year, but he hasn't scored one quite like that, Lamar.
Yeah, a little bit of acrobatics. That reminds me, Pat Ianni, center back, scored for the Seattle Sounders and got goal of the year with the scissor kick.
What was that you said about your club days under Wade Weber? Free-flowing attack? I guess that's the textbook definition right there. Vargas turns and has Diaz in space. He's left that very narrow. Uche had his job made easier, but the forward still recovers to it. And just lets himself down with the follow-up pass.
Unfortunate. Give that away there. I have Las Vegas coming tracking back. If we can keep possession in their half, like I was saying earlier, just sustained pressure, maybe some things open up.
Vegas working here. Kinsner gotten tied up with, I believe, Tristan Weber, who's on the ball now. Velosky back to Uche. Lamar, in a match like this where it seems like Vegas wants to play direct or catch Tacoma on a counter, do you engage with the counter game? Since it's nearly worked out well for Tacoma a couple times here, do you have to stay committed to what you want to do?
I was actually thinking that. Do we put a little bit more pressure on their center backs? Start to press up a little bit more?
That's Cal Jennings. He's gone down there. Nothing given. Still on the ball. And is run down by Mueller that time. That will be a free kick.
It's one that you have to be careful, because any ball over the top, you know, speed can absolutely kill you, especially if you have a high line. But we're at home. We want to be a little bit aggressive. Do we start to play how we want to play and start to dictate how this game is going? I thought that after maybe 10 minutes that Tacoma would start to do that a little bit more. But as of right now, Tacoma has the better chances. We'll see what happens here.
One in the wall for Tacoma. El Nazmari could try to slip this in at the near post, although Ritchie is shaded to that side. Keeps it low. That rattles off a Dinneran's face. Trejo gets a foot to it. It falls backside where Iloski arrives. He shovels in a follow-up. Spilled ball. Another block from Trejo. And volleyed away by Vargas. Well, probably more of an unsettled situation in their own penalty area than Tacoma would have hoped.
Yeah, Las Vegas just putting it into dangerous spots, and when that happens, misclearances, deflections happen, and sometimes you can get lucky.
Hoodie season is back. Get the latest zip-ups and pullovers for fall at the Tacoma Team Store Monday through Friday from noon to 5 p.m. Also online at Tacoma.com/team store or visit the Cheney Stadium Team Store on match days. Half hour played here in Tacoma. Good chances going either way. Kind of a cagey game that we've got on our hands, Lamar.
Yeah, like I said, it'd be nice for Tacoma. They've mostly done well when they have more possession in games, so gain a little possession to be a little bit patient.
Nearly breaking things wide open was Molina that time.
I'd like to see the top guys on the Defiance start to hold the long balls, let the team get up. That's how you get sustained pressure in the other half. You're trying to flick the ball on. It's a little bit more difficult to pick out your players than if you sit back against that defender, trap the ball, and play it back to your center mids.
Villanueva. Gone down after the ball's gone away. That's a free kick. Tacoma left a foot in. You saw Villanueva moving as though they might restart this quickly. It'll certainly be in everyone's minds after Obed Vargas bagged an assist doing just that last weekend. Baker Whiting, a lot of outswing on that ball. And a free kick for Vegas's benefit. CC Uche was fouled. Well, the USL's elite pre-professional platform, USL Academy, allows clubs to build a pathway to pro soccer by bringing together top local youth talent and helping players transition to their USL senior teams. For more information, visit usl-academy.com. Speaking of the USL Academy and existing academy systems, Lamar, it's so night and day from where it was even 10 years ago. Here's Presto, lovely tackle from Reed Baker Whiting. Product of those enhanced academy systems, Baker Whiting, and now, apparently, according to credible rumors, drawing interest from the likes of Liverpool, Manchester City, Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah, it's amazing now. I mean, like you said, these systems have been in place for a while, so we're starting to see the developments. But it's not crazy to hear that now, which is amazing. I never thought, you know, just a couple years after I was done playing, the number 10 for Chelsea would be an American kid, but it just so happens that he is. So you have these younger kids. You know, gaining some attention from big clubs.
Well, obviously it bodes well for the game here in the United States. And that is always a good sight to see. 35th minute, no goals between these two sides yet, but a couple of close calls. Vegas still looking very direct and very frequently to this near touchline for Danny Trejo.
Yeah, I'm sure he's the one who's had a lot of success with that speed. When you see three players lining up on the back line, you know that that ball is coming, so it's a little bit more predictable.
It's another foul for Mueller, who's going to get a bit of an extra talking to here. Brought down Trejo just outside the penalty area. Lamar, your thoughts on the foul?
Yeah, I mean, whenever you're running at him, it gets caught up. I mean, that's a foul for sure. It's a good turn from Trey, but it sets him up for a dangerous position right here. This is shooting distance, so we'll see what they choose to do here. I'm sure there's a discussion right now. Who's going to take this? Nice ball in. A little bit of a touch. Goes down. He knows exactly what he's doing. He might have been able to stay up and get that, but when that's coming from behind, then that's definitely going to be a foul.
Velosky standing over the ball. Weber just behind it. It is Yalowski. He goes over the wall, and Ritchie put himself in exactly the right spot. Cal Jennings getting a talking to. Standing in front of Ritchie there. Can't interfere with the keeper during the act of his delivery, but there's a lot of back and forth as to what the act of the delivery looks like when he begins to distribute the ball.
Yeah, I was guilty of a few of those as well. Sometimes for the forward, it's about slowing it down too. You're not letting the goalie restart quickly. Sometimes it's just being annoying.
Especially after a set piece with all your numbers committed forward.
Absolutely.
I imagine, Lamar, the best for a man of your position were a little bit of both.
Yeah, and I'm sure they saw the tape of Tacoma Defiance starting set plays quickly and getting a goal off of it, so they're going to be wary of that as well.
Brewitt skiffs that back. Villanueva turns and accelerates. Adeniran squares that ball. The shot from Baker Whiting, just wide. Now gets a round of applause for the effort. I think everyone was expecting Adeniran to punch his own ticket there.
Great play all around. Yeah, I think just puts this ball right across. He's going to be thinking about that all night. Hit it side foot. I mean, right on top of the box. Those are ones in the training ground you hit 9 out of 10. But a great play from Villanueva and Adeniran. I think Villanueva's done a great job of getting that ball and driving and being a source of possession in the opponent's half. I think Adeniran might have pulled it to the left and taken a shot, but Villanueva did the overlapping run right into the space, so chose to square it.
Well, Tacoma sets sail on a high seas happy hour every weekend home match. 90 minutes before every weekend match, Cheney Stadium opens for the high seas happy hour presented by Lunazul Tequila. The next high seas happy hour is October 20th against Oakland. Visit tacdefiance.com/ticket information to learn more. Well, one thing we have learned about Alex Villanueva over his time here in Tacoma with the Sounders Academy is that he has one speed, Lamar, top.
If you're going to have one speed, that's the speed that you want it to be at. A little reminiscent of DeAndre Yedlin with the big hair and speed out wide.
Probably a player who I imagine many an Academy wingback would love to emulate the career of.
Absolutely.
Kinsner going to test the back line. Vargas driving forward. Wide for Diaz. Diaz back toward Vargas, and he puts it on the outside of the net.
Great movement here from Alex Diaz. Get away and then pulling it back. The ball out wide to him was just a little bit out of reach. It brought him out of range of shooting it himself. And then again, the ball cut back was just a little bit wide and not in the path. So it's a difficult one to get on target.
Lamar, when you're charging onto a ball like that at top speed, do you have to take your kick as though the pass is going to be perfect, and then if it's bouncing, that's what surprises you? Is there enough time to react and try to change something?
Yeah, I think at this level you have enough time to react. But if it's off step and you're going full speed in one direction, then it's difficult. I think if you start to slow down right before that ball is played, then maybe you have a little bit more time to react and adjust. But that was going to be difficult. It was headed toward the end line, and Diaz was trying to chop it back pretty quick.
Speaking of chopping, Reed Baker-Whiting brought down here right at midfield. Mesmari getting a talking to.
Doesn't have many options. There's not many people moving here.
Vargas scooping this back to Double Air. Went for the quick cross. And Rando holds that ball in.
For a little bit of a change, an early cross, not a bad idea. They have a good connection out wide. Double Air gets it.
Dinnerin holds that ball in on the far side. Kanan gets the better angle on it. And presto picks up a foul. Lamar, speaking back to that early cross, you mentioned changing it up. What's the breakdown between the move that you know you can execute best versus the move that you might not do as well, but you think the defense isn't ready for? How do you try to break down which of those two you'd go with in the moment?
For me, it was a lot of reaction. I think I would see how the defender was. Honestly, it's defender how they're defending, which way they're showing you, and then it's setting them up for the move that they're not expecting. Right? That's just another tool that you can pull out. But for me, it was what I was going to be as efficient as I could with. I would stay with that one, and then if that wasn't working, then they would be expecting me to do the same move, and then I would start to switch it up.
Trejo brings this ball down, leaps past Reagan, and took a heavy touch to do so. Well, this Vegas side has mostly been looking for the long ball over the top, but they've proven that they can try to pounce on you. You saw it there.
Yeah, it's always kind of telling of a team. You see the three attacking players walking back to get onside, as Tacoma Defiance, disciplined back line, gets up the field quickly. They've hit a lot over the top, so it's been a lot of just back and forth for these attacking players. They're going to be exhausted by the end of this half.
The road has been unkind to Las Vegas. 2-11-1 overall this season. Free kick, one right here in front of the near touchline. Quickly restarted. Vargas turns and distributes. Uche breaks it up. That's gone out for a corner. Last one led to that scissor kick attempt from Tom Brewitt here in the 45th minute. Can Tacoma serve up another enticing ball?
This would be a great time to score a goal right before half. Especially a team like Las Vegas, just the position in the standings that they're in, it really would deflate confidence going into halftime.
Baker-Whiting's cross is a high one. Turn to the outside. And there will be no stoppage time here in the first half. Matt Thompson sounds the whistle. We're 0-0 at the break, Lamar.
Yeah, I would think that Tacoma Defiance, especially in the second half, are going to come out a lot more aggressive. We'll see if they start to press their center backs, especially as this game goes on, right? This is a game that they need to win. And the longer they keep Las Vegas at 0-0, the more of a chance Las Vegas feels like they have.
It is 0-0 between Tacoma Defiance and Las Vegas Lights at the break. We'll take a break here on ESPN Plus. When we come back, we'll take a look at what's going on around the rest of the USL Championship. Don't go away.
The fight against isn't over. We still have to slow the spread and do our part. Let's wear face masks in public. Stay 6 feet or more from others. Follow state and local guidelines. Wash our hands frequently and stay home when we feel safe. For ourselves, for our loved ones, for our future. Let's move forward together. Learn more at coronavirus.gov.
Sigue la lucha. Aún no acaba esta batalla. A estas alturas ya estamos cansados, pidiendo esquina. Pero no es momento de bajar la guardia, porque este enemigo, cuando parece que ya está en la lona, se levanta de nuevo y te ataca por donde menos lo esperas. Así que arriba la guardia, porque si pierdes la máscara, todos perdemos la lucha.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool.
To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. If you could see you through my eyes instead of your ego. I believe you'd be surprised to see that you've been blind. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Today, as you step onto the field, you step into your purpose. You step strong. You step hard. Con toda la fuerza de mujer. You step up.
Hey, y'all. Can we change up the chores?
Sorry. It's up to the wheel, man.
Oh, yeah?
Hey, change the channel back.
Sorry, it's up to the wheel.
I am a first-generation student here at Bellevue University. I feel like if I were to have gone to a different university, my experience would have been a lot more like stressful and overwhelming, because I feel like I wouldn't have gotten that personal experience that Bellevue University has to offer.
Around it comes Fox. Solignat, the backheel in! What a goal!
It, Luna is shot into the back goal.
Kuramoto has won it for OKC Energy FC. Oh, that is a brilliant goal from the substitute.
Today, as you step onto the field, you step into your purpose. You step strong. You step hard. Con toda la fuerza de mujer. You step up.
Welcome back into Cheney Stadium here in Tacoma, Washington. It is halftime between Tacoma Defiance and Las Vegas Lights FC. 0-0 through 45 minutes. I'm Andrew Harvey alongside Lamar Nagel. Lamar, it's been an entertaining first half here, but of course it is time now to look at what is going on around the rest of this league of ours. And as we take a look at some of the scores from tonight's contest, there are some real barn burners, particularly here in this Pacific Division. You see right now, Orange County pulling off the rare win over Phoenix Rising if that scoreline holds. That match at the half right now, but that would go a long way toward making this Pacific Division a race for the final playoff spot in fourth. Sacramento Republic and LA Galaxy 2 just underway, 0-0. Meanwhile, a real barn burner on our hands at El Paso and Colorado Springs Switchbacks over there in the Mountain Conference. Turning our attention to the schedule to come over these next few days. Everyone in the Pacific Division back in action. Las Vegas on its way home to take on Phoenix Rising on Saturday. Oakland and Orange County on Sunday. Tacoma makes the trip down to Sacramento. Tonight's contest massively important for their playoff hopes. That one even more so. And of course, you've got a late cross-division conference matchup between San Diego Loyal and New Mexico United. San Diego has been drawing really great crowds these last couple matches. You hope to see that they'll have something similar on store. Here are your Pacific Division standings, although we should say this is what they were coming into the day. Right now, should the scoreline hold, Orange County would be on 40 points instead of 37. But as you can see, Lamar, look at how close that is, right around that fourth and final playoff spot.
Yeah, that definitely makes it interesting going into these last games, right? Yeah, they don't count for more points, but now you start to feel the pressure.
And now we turn our attention to some of the major headlines from around the USL Championship. And of course, the first one that we're obviously going to start with this week is the local boy. Tacoma Defiance's own Sam Adeniran voted the Championship Player of the Week, Lamar.
Yeah, well deserving, obviously having a hat trick in the last game. The goals that he scores, he absolutely puts his foot through this ball. It is amazing to see. I'm waiting to see it tonight. He hasn't had an opportunity to do it, but a great week last week and well deserving.
Yeah, if I had an Adeniran shot coming at me as a keeper, I would probably get out of the way, but that's why I don't play professionally.
Yeah, if you see the ball.
In other news, Tampa Bay Rowdies head coach Neil Collins is the USL Championship Coach of the Month, and probably also well-deserved. Mar, what a tear Tampa Bay has been on out in the East.
Yeah, obviously well-deserved. He won all 5 games last month, so it comes as no surprise. They also have the longest record with no goal being allowed, which is another amazing feat. Obviously, you know, as somebody that played a lot of defense in his day, I scored a lot of goals, but I played a lot of defense, so I can appreciate not scoring any goals, at least giving your team a chance in each round.
891 minutes Tampa Bay has held opponents without a goal, pretty much 10 full matches. It is insane to think about. And of course, finally, rounding things out, USL Championship's all-time Hispanic team in celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month. And Lamar, some great names on that list.
Yeah, Michael Chang from Cuba and Enzo Martinez from Uruguay. It's just a great way to show respect to guys who've done a great job in this league, and obviously as a league kind of pinpointing this during Hispanic Heritage Month just to give tribute. So,
well, Lamar, before we jump back to the break, my question for you is, if you're Wade Weber, what are you saying to Tacoma Defiance in there at the break right now?
I think I'm telling us to be a little bit more confident on the ball, to ask for the ball more. I think the guys in the middle need to control the game a little bit more. I think the guys up top need to bring that ball down and really allow the rest of the team to get up into the opposing team's half. But really that we need to impose our will on the game now. This is the second half. All right, that first half, 0-0, not too many chances for either team, but now we really need to dominate.
It is 0-0 between Tacoma Defiance and Las Vegas through 45 minutes of play. We'll take another break on ESPN Plus. When we return, the start of the second half. We'll see you after it.
Our fight against coronavirus isn't over. We still have to slow the spread and do our part. Let's wear face masks in public. Stay 6 feet or more from others. Follow state and local guidelines. Wash our hands frequently and stay home when we feel safe. For ourselves, for our loved ones, for our future. Let's move forward together. Learn more at coronavirus.gov.
Sigue la lucha. Aún no acaba esta batalla. A estas alturas ya estamos cansados, pidiendo esquina. Pero no es momento de bajar la guardia, porque este enemigo, cuando parece que ya está en la lona, se levanta de nuevo y te ataca por donde menos lo esperas. Así que arriba la guardia, porque si pierdes la máscara, todos perdemos la lucha.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool.
To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. If you could see you through my eyes instead of your ego, I believe you'd be surprised to see that you've been blind. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Welcome back into Cheney Stadium here on ESPN Plus. Set for the start of the second half between Tacoma Defiance and Las Vegas Lights FC, where it is 0-0. But Lamar, despite that, there were some pretty good chances for both teams in that first half. Las Vegas had a promising opportunity off a set piece that rattled around and was later cleared away. As we take a look at some of our first half highlights here.
Yeah, this came off a free kick. Ball gets rattled around. I mean, it was a good hard ball across the 6, and sometimes just putting the ball in a good space is exactly what you need to do. Tacoma Defiance ends up being able to clear this. This one from Adeniran, you think he's going to hit this with his left, but he sets it for Reed and just wide with the inside of his foot. A little unfortunate. He's definitely going to want that back. You know, then you think, man, maybe I had time to take a second touch, but did well with it. Alec Diaz with a very good run in behind. The ball just a little bit too far. If he holds it back a little bit, then maybe Alec Diaz can go at it alone. He has to end up cutting it back and then goes just wide from Vargas.
Replaced by number 41, Cody Baker.
Cody Baker and Carlos Anguiano have checked in for Tacoma Defiance. Changes here to start the second half for Wade Weber. Maybe try to freshen some things up. This ball ahead for El Mesmari. He's through here and puts it past Richie. Quickly into the second half, and Las Vegas strikes lightning quick. Well, Vegas has shown that they're dangerous on the break, Lamar, and they prove it with that one. El Mesmari turning this into a track meet and a pretty clinical finish past Spencer Richie as well.
Yeah, there's a reason we kept talking that they're standing kind of on the back line. Obviously, they want those balls in behind, and that's where they're going to be dangerous, and Tacoma Defiance ends up paying for it right off the bat.
Assisted by number 26, Cal Jennings. Las Vegas Lights' first goal scored by number 7, Bruce El Mesmari.
Well, for El Mesmari, that is his first goal of the year. And this, now his 8th start. Good time to grab your first one, as Las Vegas trying to take 3 points on the road.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for the Defiance. That'll give Las Vegas a little bit of confidence, obviously, and make this half a little bit harder. But sometimes that makes the team play even harder. We'll see how Defiance reacts.
Wow, and conceding in the opening minutes of the second half been a bit of a problem for Tacoma this year. Sometimes teams come out and just catch them by surprise. The rain at least has stopped for the moment. Trejo skipping through. Kinsner blasts that ball away. Lamar, when you're a player and you do concede in the early minutes of a half, you still have 44 minutes in stoppage time to go. But how do you try to get your head back in when apparently things weren't quite right coming out of halftime?
Yeah, it's a little frustrating. That's where character of a team and you know, characters built over a long season. So you have to deal with adversity here and there. It will be interesting. I know, as I said, it was probably in the halftime talk to come out and have a good start, and when that doesn't happen immediately, it can be devastating to a team. But sometimes on the flip side, you know, maybe that wakes them up.
DeRoma looking through for Cal Jennings, broken up by Reagan. Thrown to Jennings in the corner. Here's Trejo. Low cross, and Richie pounces on it.
Yeah, good read from Richie. Trejo's been a nuisance. He's popping up left and right, kind of everywhere. Very good with his feet.
Baker looking centrally to Diaz. Adeniran, who's kind of dropped in as a 10. Fights his way to that ball. Adeniran. Villanueva.
good possession, good patience from Tacoma. You know, like you said, you do have 40 minutes. No need to rush a goal, especially Las Vegas. Seems like once they scored, they had a lot more energy, and they're rushing out to press, and sometimes that opens a lot up in behind.
Villanueva hoping for a kick there, nothing given. Join the USL in celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month through October 15th. Visit uslsoccer.com/Hispanic-heritage for exclusive content and stories that celebrate the members of the Hispanic community that have shaped the USL. As it stands, Lamar, should the scoreline hold, then fully half of Las Vegas's wins this season will have come against Tacoma. They'll be 3-1 against them. Have you had experiences with teams like that, that despite them not being maybe at the top of the table, they happen to just kind of be a boogeyman for you and your guys?
That happens occasionally, not too often, but they're...
Gone through for Diaz, lovely ball, lovely flick in too high. Well, Diaz was on the cusp of something really special there. Just over the bar.
Yeah, great ball in here. I mean, just trying to get a slight touch on it before the goalie comes out. It's going to be difficult. He's off balance, but just trying to redirect that on frame. I think that's where he plays best. He's facing up. He can pass and make runs in behind. And that's what I had a lot of success with when I was playing as well. Facing up at somebody, playing it into a forward or to a midfielder, and then absolutely just taking off. And if anything, you're giving the players behind you more and more space.
Lamar, apologies for the interruption. The action kind of took us away from my question about boogeymen teams. If you have the rest of your thought, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, no, I know that's happened a couple times. I can't recall the certain team or instance, but you have had that where, man, we just cannot get over this team, and sometimes they just match up that way. Hopefully for Tacoma Defiance, that isn't the case. It's unfortunate, just different ideas there.
Dinner zigged when Kinsner thought he was going to zag.
Yeah. There's a lot of space in behind, so he went to get it in behind. I think he's been going to his feet quite a bit, so to change it up. But hopefully he can get on the ball a little bit more. He didn't get an opportunity at a shot on goal in the first half, and I know that sometimes that's why you saw him step into the middle and pop up out of nowhere in the middle of the field, is go find the ball. If you haven't been getting on it, and you're one of the players that makes things happen, go get the ball.
Diaz gone for the lob. Well, there's no shortage of confidence in Alec Diaz, and with technique like that, why wouldn't there be, Lamar?
Absolutely. As I said, you get a little confidence, you get a shot on goal, almost score, you know. Why not try something? He had a great first touch. Goalie was out. If you would have hit that just a little bit lower with a little bit more pace, he might have been able to catch him.
That would have been goal of the year material right there. A dinner in. Quickly in. Popped out by Olaski. Over the top for Jennings. And Jennings blazes through. Jennings puts it past Ritchie and tucks it wide. Well, a flash of foot speed from Cal Jennings, and he was gone, Lamar.
Yeah, now we see why there were so many balls over the top in the first half. This is what they were hoping for. He's obviously put the last one away, but this one got a little bit away from him. And if we thought there was a lot of those in the first half, once you have success right off the bat in the second half, they're going to be looking for that ball a lot. So Tacoma has to be careful as this game goes on and they start to press and want to get that goal. There's always going to be that danger of that ball over the top.
Adeniran down the line here. Lays that in just past Diaz. Vargas corrals it in the far alley. It's a storyline in the last match. Sam Adeniran kept trying to find Alec Diaz inside the penalty area for a goal. Finally did in the 90th minute to make it a 3-1 match, but had a couple of chances that Diaz was visibly frustrated that he hadn't put away. Adeniran gone for it from distance. He normally has better touch on it than that.
Don't blame him from there. When you have the range that he has, you know, that defensive line keeps stepping back. If they're stepping back past their 18, then you definitely have a go.
Tacoma sets sail on a high seas happy hour every weekend home match. 90 minutes before every weekend match, Cheney Stadium opens for the high seas happy hour presented by Lunazul Tequila. The next high seas happy hour is October 20th against Oakland Roots. Visit tacdefiance.com/ticket information to learn more. Already you see Alex Rando in no particular hurry to put the ball back in play. Sometimes when a season's not going your way, seeing out a 1-0 on the road is exactly the kind of boost you need regardless of your position in the standings.
Yeah, they have a couple tough games coming up as well, so getting a result here will definitely give them confidence going into the next few.
Well, Vargas had to hit that with his first touch, no time to bring it under control. But you see Tacoma searching, probing, looking for a way through. Anything that seems like a likely option to you, Lamar?
I think they'll have some success. Villanueva did a good job of pushing that line. I think getting him the ball a little bit more will open up. Adeniran starting to get on the ball a little bit more. I think sometimes when a team scores and they gain more confidence, then they start to open up. I think this Las Vegas team has opened up a little bit more. They've gained confidence, so they're not scared and retracting, and that gives space for Tacoma Defiance to kind of exploit. So I think this game is a lot more open than it was in the first half. Tacoma have a few good balls across the back. Adeniran just recently, but in the first half had 2 or 3. One was the early cross. Another one was just in dangerous space, but when you're getting that kind of service and getting guys' bodies in the box, something's going to happen.
Rando catches that ball in from Kinsner cleanly. See now that Obed Vargas and Ray Serrano are set to come on for Tacoma at the next stoppage as we tick toward the hour mark. So Wade Weber, Lamar, will be quickly through 4 of his 5 allotted changes, not waiting around.
Yeah, I think give some new life. Just like I said, a little bit more possession up top. If those top guys can start to bring balls down, or they can start to possess in the middle a little bit more, then they have more options. They're plenty creative. It's just a matter of getting the balls in the right spot.
Eric Kinsner and Marlon Vargas are pulled off the pitch. So a midfielder and a winger coming on. You have to imagine there's going to be some shifting. Tom Brewitt's going to slide back out of the holding midfield. He'll be that new central center back. Mueller's on the right. Reagan inverts to the left. Quickly up for Ray Serrano. Great ball. Cut back cross. And out for a corner. Alec Diaz manufacturing the opportunity. Ray Serrano, 3 goals, 6 assists on the year. Has been productive, both as a starter and off the bench.
Yeah, coming in and immediately making a difference, right? Getting a good cross in, getting them a corner, bring some life.
Anguiano for the outswinger from the far side. And there's a Las Vegas player down. Matt Thompson, the referee, quickly waving on medical staff.
Yeah, anything that has to do with the head, definitely want to be wary.
That appears to be the right back, Dylan Presto, who is down here. Like you mentioned, Lamar, obviously new changes, experimental changes, you should say, to the laws of the game this year, allowing for the possibility of extra substitutes beyond what's normally allotted. This would not count as one of those since Las Vegas has subs remaining, should Presto need to come out. But obviously a widespread and concerted effort around the game to start really providing acute attention to the problem of head injuries.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the problem really comes when you've used all your subs and then an injury like that happens. Then a player really wants to stay on. I've personally had a few close friends playing who had to retire because of concussions, and it's something that they definitely needed to focus on, and I'm glad they have.
And you see it right there. Presto just gets run into. I think it was Kanan, his own teammate, that kind of dropped the hammer on him. He's back on his feet now, which is what you always want to see. Will need to leave the field of play since the trainer came on to attend him. And Taylor Mueller is already upset about the fact that this looks like it's going to be a drop ball back to Las Vegas, which technically is not what the law of the game says, Lamar. The drop ball is supposed to be restoring possession to the team that had it, and that was Tacoma. Presto needs to re-enter the field from the touchline. That is a specific aspect of the laws of the game. Can't do it from the end line.
Yeah, I'd be upset if I was Mueller as well. You had the ball in a great spot, and now you're going to get possession back towards the halfway line.
It'll be kind of a bouncing set piece for Anguiano. Las Vegas needs to be 5 yards back. That is the new way that the game is played. The contested drop ball era is over. Cal Jennings, either willfully or of his own volition, unaware of that. We're back underway. Anguiano serves this one in. Bouncing through and headed wide. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio. Featuring Ray Hudson, Tony Miola, Rodney Marsh, and USL All Access with Mike Watts and Devin Kerr every Tuesday night at 7 Eastern. You can also hear live action from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the SXM app. Las Vegas is going to bring on Julian Vasquez here, replacing Bruce El Mesmari, the man who at the moment has the game winner for Las Vegas. Vasquez now making his 21st appearance of the year. 1 goal, 2 assists. De Roma tackled away from him, but into the path of Molina. His cross. Trejo meets it. Jennings underneath it. And Obed Vargas clears it away. Shoulder to shoulder, says our referee of the challenge from Adeniran. Uche, as he has so frequently tonight, breaking up another long ball intended for Alec Diaz. Brought down here by Trejo. Wide for Jennings. And that, not the cross that Jennings was looking for.
I think he might have had a bit more time than he realized there. Just trying to get the cross off quick. Tough angle off balance. Again, those rarely go the way you think they're going to go.
Serrano. Baker. And they like that quick go-ahead ball out to the wing back in an advanced position. Just bop it right on ahead to an Anguiano or a Ray Serrano.
Yeah, and I think Ray Serrano's come on and gotten some good positions in between the lines, trying to get the ball with some space and possession in their half, but not necessarily that ball over the top. That's not the space that he wants to get into.
Serrano in for Adeniran here, squaring off against Uche. What a cross beyond Rando. Diaz can't poke it in, and the resulting ball tipped wide, gone off a defender, but Villanueva threw himself at it. Couldn't bag the goal.
And Ray Serrano doing well. Adeniran just getting a cross in here. Nobody's expecting him to turn around and get there. I would have liked to see Diaz throw himself a little bit harder at that ball. Villanueva getting in.
The resulting corner popped over the bar by Adeniran. Lamar, it feels like Defiance have been so close on a number of occasions. Reed Baker-Whiting puts one wide left. Marlon Vargas just right. That last opportunity, the lob attempt from Diaz from 36 yards out. When you're in a match like this, can you force it through, or do you just need to keep taking chances?
I think you need to keep taking chances, but high quality chances. Right, there's no need to rush right now. There's plenty of time. I think they're doing a good job of starting to get the ball a little bit more in the middle. But it's about winning every single little duel. Each one matters.
Well, that last duel won by Las Vegas results in a free kick. 70th minute now. Kanan tries Presto. But Vargas quite can't pick up the layoff from Serrano. Richie puts that up the middle. Here's Vasquez. Presto, pardon me, Molina gone for a cross, wins a corner.
He's been confident playing out of the back. It's when they get into that middle space, they beat the first guy, but then the pass is a little bit off, or the next dribble that they take is a little bit forward and kind of gets away from them. Here, good defense, closing down, sees a shot coming. Doesn't really have a problem, takes a knock though.
Out low cross on the corner, flicked on by Jennings. Out for a goal kick. Vegas ratcheting up the defensive pressure these last 5 minutes. Lamar, Defiance having trouble getting out of their own end.
Yeah, and these are those games I was saying, you were saying that, you know, they've had so many chances and opportunities and it just hasn't fallen, and then Las Vegas has 2-3 chances and they end up putting one away. It's kind of one of those frustrating games that you hope who's going to break this stalemate that we have of scoring. And it's a tough one, because if you would have maybe pressured Las Vegas from the go and got ahead at the beginning, then a team in their position, sometimes they just end up dying. There's another road game that we lost, and you have an easy second half, but that wasn't the case.
Another free kick won by DeRoma. And of course, Lamar, as Tacoma is forced to commit more and more numbers forward, trying to chase that equalizer. Vegas will have more space on the counter. You almost saw it just now with Trejo.
Yeah, Trejo, Jennings have quite a bit of speed. That can end up killing you.
Trejo used too much of that speed too early there. He's offside.
One thing Defiance has done defensively, they kept a very disciplined line, and that's no surprise coming from a team coached by Wade Weber.
Baker over the head of a Dinnerin and clear out of play. Held in by Villanueva. Hard running from the fullback.
Done great effort. It's the kind of thing that may seem small, but now you've kept possession in their half.
Mueller gone on the ground. Diaz. Some confusion who was supposed to strike that ball between he and Dinnerin.
Great ideas. It seems like they're just on the cusp of breaking through.
All the ground coming up beneath Tacoma Defiance quickly here. 75th minute, they trail 1-0 at home. And now they'll bring on Mohamed Traore and remove Danny Trejo to do so. Lamar, obviously, Cal Jennings also provides an outlet up top, but Trejo's probably been the best man on the pitch tonight.
Yeah, it's a bit of surprise they're taking him out, maybe to save him. I know they got a tough game on the weekend, but You can never look past the game right now. This can easily turn 1-0, and they're taking pressure. This might be a defensive move.
So Traore trats back, joins the back line, now making his 21st appearance of the year for Las Vegas. Vegas just claiming free yardage up this touchline, Lamar.
Yeah, taking their time. Up 1-0 away. There's no rush.
Here's Traore getting his first touches. Serrano quickly up to Diaz. To slip it through. Serrano settles this. In for Diaz. Further still for Villanueva. Villanueva. And it's cleared away. Declan Cannon put his big foot through the ball. In there for Diaz. Back out from Presto.
Yeah, Defiance is going to have some success if they're able to switch the ball quickly, get it to Villanueva, and let him go one-on-one. They've done it a few times. I think they can do it a few more times and get some success.
Serrano cuts inside. He is tripped by Traore. No advantage develops, so we'll have a free kick. Tacoma's been close a couple of times on set pieces tonight. What do you reckon they do with this?
I've tested. It's a little far out, but I still think there's a possibility for a shot here. Usually a good sign is if there's a few people over the ball having a conversation, then you think, all right, there's a few people vying for this shot right here.
Rain has come back, makes it tougher for a keeper to catch it even with these modern goalkeeper gloves. Anguiano and Villanueva over the ball. Everyone else for Defiance, forward and lurking. Baker drifts far side. Villanueva, it's kicked off the wall, into the box and headed over. Well, hoodie season is back. Get the latest zip-ups and pullovers for fall at the Tacoma Team Store, Monday through Friday from noon to 5 p.m. Also online at Tacoma.com/team store or visit the Cheney Stadium Team Store on match days. In the end, Lamar, a good block by Las Vegas's defensive wall.
Yeah, the wall doing what it needs to do. Still had the opportunity for a header, but it's hard to generate a lot of power on goal when a ball gets lofted up in the air like that. It's going to be a difficult one.
80 minutes gone, 10 plus stoppage to go. And that should be the first caution of the night, and it will be. Dylan Presto booked here in the 81st.
Smart foul from Vegas, the lights. Villanueva's been causing him trouble all night. Not letting them have a full run at your back line is a good idea. And you slow the game down a little bit, so.
Serrano trying to make his own space for a cross. Defiance going to make their last change. Danny Robles coming on. Taylor Mueller headed off. So full speed ahead for Wade Weber's side, who trail by a goal.
Yeah, like I said, still the same amount of points in this game as at the beginning of the season, but you're starting to feel a little bit more. So, and I think even confidence-wise, when you're facing a team that you know you need to beat, you definitely don't want to take a loss at home to them. These last 10 minutes are going to be pretty exciting for Tacoma.
Rando out to cover that through ball. Lamar, late in a match like this where you could claim, although people often do, that you've been the better side, haven't scored, given up a goal that you've been frustrated to do so, and now are struggling in the late minutes. Where do you draw the fire from? What can you reach down and grab a hold of as you're chasing an equalizer at home?
Yeah, I think that's rarely the problem, is trying to get that motivation. You're definitely motivated to win. You're running at it. It's a matter of being clear-headed while you do it and still making the right decisions. A lot of times emotions can get the better of you. That's why, teams take their time during throw-ins and go down a little bit more, foul when the other team's in a good position, a little bit of gamesmanship. It's to frustrate the other team. It's to kind of magnify that, we're ahead, and I think that's what Las Vegas is going to do here now. Take their time with all the throw-ins. Does that make Tacoma Defiance a little bit more frantic?
Advantage played by the referee.
The middle of the second half, you could see Vegas was a lot more aggressive, biting at a lot of balls that Tacoma had in the defensive half. But now they've obviously, there's only a few more minutes left, so they started to sit back and settle in for this. That's why I mentioned that I thought these last couple minutes were going to be pretty exciting for the Defiance. So we'll see if they can.
Serrano corrals that. couldn't pull it off.
See if they can take advantage of some of these opportunities that they have. Looks like we're getting ready for a long throw.
Long looping effort from Baker. Brewitt the header. Robles through traffic. And Rando happy to see it come right at him.
Good flick header here. Good awareness to set it. Kind of a bouncing ball. He did well to keep it low. It's just a matter of picking out one of those corners, especially if you're using the inside of your foot. You know, can you get it a little bit left and right and actually make that keeper make a save?
Ball went the length of the field. Assistant referee on the near touchline had initially signaled for a throw-in, but it is given as a free kick to Tacoma. Richie took an extra touch, kept him from getting that off in a timely fashion. Iloski up for Jennings, who looks to have eyes for the corner flag as he does battle with Tom Brewitt. And Brewitt wins a free kick. Richie gonna call Brewitt off. Villanueva. Another pull down there. No real attempt to play the ball, you have to say.
Yeah, similar fouls on the same guy. You think that would be another yellow card. It's almost a mirror image of the last foul. He starts to run at that back line and they take him down. Like I said, you keep doing the same foul on the same player. Usually that's give the player a yellow card for that.
Forgive me, that is Molina who committed that infraction. He was the player who was cautioned for the identical challenge against Villanueva. Nothing there, Lamar.
All right, well, I'm corrected. Yeah, that's probably not a red card.
That would have been his second yellow for the same foul. Serrano. Robles on his left, tackled away. Now Baker shovels it in. And another header from Kanan. Brewitt gone through for Serrano. Traore with the block. 89th minute.
That same ball. It's unfortunate he didn't pull it back a little bit closer to the 18. There was a couple guys just sitting there waiting for that ball.
Vegas taking the opportunity to use their third substitution window and make what will be their final change. It's to bring on Christopher Jaime for his 15th appearance of the year. But probably more importantly, eat up a little more clock as we tick towards stoppage time.
Going to be a fast substitution.
The referee, following the new loss of the game, sending Molina off at the closest boundary line. Throwing on the way from Baker. Squibs free, this is Vasquez. Hits straight down the line. And he's got a runner. That is Jaime. Forced the quick play out of Richie.
Richie does a good job of reading that. He knows it's a dangerous spot when your entire team's closer to the goal.
90th minute, no word yet on how much stoppage time we'll play. Long ball up to Adeniran. He bats it down. Traore tries to clear it away. Adeniran cuts that back, left it too dear. We're being told 4 minutes of stoppage time, and the shot straight into the hands of Rando, who's had a big night between the posts for Las Vegas, Lamar. Maybe not always the most composed looking saves, but he's kept the ball out of the net.
Yeah, he absolutely has. The last 2 or 3 have been straight to him, but you still got to make the save. There was the one that was kind of high that he swatted away, but I mean, it's almost like the saying for the forwards, they don't ask how, they ask how many.
Right now for Rando and this Las Vegas side, the how many is 0, at least at the defensive end. Obed Vargas is fouled there by Jennings. And quickly put back in play. Starting to be an element of in desperation in the play of Tacoma. Jaime.
So it starts to open up.
Jennings, Richie, the sliding save. Jaime can't get to the rebound. DeRoma can't put it on frame.
Yeah, Richie doing a good job of keeping him in it.
Robles got down there. He's looking for the call. Wins the throw-in at least. And they have changed their minds. It's Las Vegas's throw.
I'm surprised Tacoma has so many guys back. Only one guy forward.
Now Defiance now needing to work the ball forward. They've turned it over once more. Vasquez has it back for the visitors. Aloski. Trying to go for the coffin corner punt there. Force Defiance into a throw-in near their own corner flag. Reagan trying to steam ahead. The 4th minute of second half stoppage time. Defiance needing a goal to salvage a point from this match at home. Robles, Villanueva. Serves one in. Adeniran gets the header to it. Who'd it come off of? Well, Rando didn't want to find out. He swats it down.
Good cross with the cutback. Just think they're not having too much success with those crosses. Can they put it back in the middle, play it across, possibly start to find some people, but.
Pruitt swings and misses. Richie scoops us up. Does Defiance have time for one last attack? We've played the 4 minutes. Thrown out to Robles. Adeniran is on the move. Gets the cross away, and it skitters out for a corner and will play no further. Oh. Full time here at Cheney Stadium. Las Vegas does enough on the road for a 1-0 win away from home. Just their 3rd of their season and their 3rd win of the season in 4 meetings with Tacoma, Lamar.
Yeah, a little devastating for Defiance. I know they'll be frustrated with their play. I think that first half, they really didn't set the tone that I think they wanted to. And yeah, in the second half, like I said, you leave a team in long enough, then they're gonna end up gaining more and more confidence, and Las Vegas got a spark right at the beginning of that half. And it was difficult to come back from. But Defiance had their opportunities.
Vegas will be back at home against Phoenix Rising on Saturday at 2 p.m. Tacoma Defiance back in action on Sunday on the road against Sacramento, also at 2 p.m. That match will be found on ESPN+. But that's going to do it for us here from Cheney Stadium. For all of us here on ESPN+, including Lamar Nagel, I'm Andrew Harvey saying so long. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you next time.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.